Well, you're very youthful looking.
Yes.
You are youthful looking.
I have a glow. By the way,
But nobody as good looking as Jen Scordo. So
Oh, you're sweet, Pete.
Tuesdays with Thompson's brought to you by Charlie's Bar and Restaurant, Shore Road in Summers Point. Meet your friends at Charlie's Bar for this year's St. Patty's Day Plunge on Saturday, March 5th. Join the fun at noon. $30 gets you entry, a T-shirt, and access to the party at Charlie's with a live DJ, auction, and more. Benefits go to the Art Elwell Scholarship Fund, only at Charlie's, Shore Road in Summers Point. PT, I would like to see you take that plunge.
I've shot the plunge one year. That's Bub, by the way, Arthur Bub Elwell. And, the one year I remember shooting it for TV40, the people were coming out, for the Bub, it's for the Bub. And it was that year, remember the A-10 tournament was over at Boardwalk Hall, and it rained on the court. You remember that, when it was such a bad storm? I forget what year that was, but either way, they're very dedicated. It goes for scholarships, and it's in memory of the Bub. So, yeah, that's the kind of stuff that happens at Charlie's.
I like it. You always have the good memory for stuff like that. But I recall being in Florida most of the time during the A-10 tournament.
Well, I only remember that story because the great Kim Tiche, who was on Greg Tassone's staff over there, she was sitting next to me in, the media room where the food is. And I remember, it wasn't a game that I really cared that much about. Dayton or somebody was playing. And, I kind of thought, I'll get out there when I get out there. And I heard, the announcer say, and there's a stoppage here, there's water on the court. And I had looked to my left and seen this woman sitting there with her coworkers. And then the next thing you know, she's out on the basketball court wiping the floor down. And I thought, and you know what I'm talking about, behind the stage, how do you get from that room all the way out to the floor that fast? But hey, if it's your, you know what in the sling, then you got to do it. So, good job there.
We asked PT to come up with this list of his top 10 80s actors on Thursday's show, and that we were going to reveal them here on Tuesday with Thompson. So what I want you to do, PT, we're going to go down the list. I want to see if Scordo recognizes the movie that you associated that actor with.
Oh, okay.
You want to go? You want to go 10 to 1?
Yeah, 10 up. 10 up. Now he listed the actors and a couple of movies that they were in during the 80s here. Okay, so we're going to go up the list. And Scordo, I want to see if you can guess the 80s movie that they appeared in.
Okay.
All right. So number 10, PT's favorite 10 80s actors. 10 is John Candy.
John Candy.
Yes. Are you familiar with the gentleman?
The Great Outdoors.
The Great Outdoors.
That's true, but that was not in the 80s.
Oh, it wasn't?
See what you did here?
Well,
he did not list that as one of his favorite John Candy's 80s movies. Such movies such as Stripes and Splash and Volunteers and Spaceballs and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Well, my second guess would have been Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I didn't think that was in the 80s, however. Splash, though, being one of the great movies of all time.
Yeah. Shower Curtain Ring Division.
And I've never seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh, you must. Gil, you must see that movie because that's you and me traveling.
And The Great Outdoors was released in 1988, PT.
Oh, very good. What was the stake you had? The 86er?
The big 86er or the giant 86er or something like that. 96er.
All right, number 9 is Kevin Kline. I don't even know who that is.
Oh, Kevin Kline. No, he's great. What was he in the 80s? He was in French Kiss, but I think that was the early 90s. Kevin Kline.
The other castmates were Jamie Lee Curtis, John Cleese, and Michael Palin.
I have no idea. I know who John Cleese is.
The Cathcart Towers. The character's name Kevin Kline played was Otto, and he was an idiot. And so when they'd say speak Italian, he'd say, rigatoni, chicken parmigiana. Speak it.
Kevin Kline was in The Big Chill, Silverado, and A Fish Called Wanda.
Oh, I loved A Fish Called Wanda.
And you did not.
I forgot.
I never saw that either.
Kill me.
I never saw any of those three, by the way. All right, number 8 is Tom Berenger.
Major League. Boom.
Yes.
I had such a crush on Charlie Sheen in Major League. Literally, I would watch it.
So you like the Vegematic head.
After time. Oh, I loved him in that movie.
PT, Major League, Platoon. Eddie and the Cruisers was 83. Right. And also with Kevin Kline in A Big Chill. Or The Big Chill. Big Chill. All right. Tom Berenger, by the way, was great in Major League.
Oh, he was. It's a great movie. The original, the first one.
The fact, though, that's the one that she went to, PT, she could have gone with Platoon.
Yeah. She liked Ricky Vaughn. Give him a hater, Ricky,
I did.
All right, number 7 for the PT is Joe Pesci. Now, this one should be pretty easy.
Well, Joe Pesci, let's see. In the 80s, see, that's my problem.
This is where you get hit.
Yeah. I mean, My Cousin Vinny is the first one I think of, but that was definitely not in the 80s, I don't think, right?
No.
PT? No.
It's
a mob movie for sure. Name one of the mob movies Joe Pesci was in the 80s.
Who's Joe Pesci often with, Jen Scordo?
De Niro.
He had a lot of... Okay, so then not a mob movie, but still a fighting movie. De Niro, Pesci...
Oh.
Jake LaMotta.
Jake LaMotta.
Who?
He's a boxer.
That's the
It's a boxing movie.
Raging Bull. Okay.
There you go.
Was what you're looking for.
Right. I was just...
He also was in Easy Money with Rodney Dangerfield, and then the best of the trilogy, in my opinion, Lethal Weapon 2, where he played Leo Getz.
Yes.
Okay. Whatever Leo wants, Leo gets. Okay? I got you. Relax. Do I get a gun? No!
Oh, my.
All right, number 6. The PT has a soft spot for Tom Cruise.
Oh, well, who doesn't?
Ooh. So Charlie Sheen or Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Charlie Sheen is really messed up right now.
That is true. I'm sure Tom Cruise isn't much better.
Well, maybe a little bit.
Yeah. He was maybe the top actor of the 80s.
Well, he was in
Yeah,
Top
he had a lot
Gun
of
in
that.
the 80s.
Top Gun,
Top
yes.
Gun.
Also,
86.
yes, Born on the 4th of July, Rain
Great
Man,
movie.
Cocktail.
Rain Man. Great. Oh, Cocktail. I love that movie.
Woo.
Yes.
A little extra on that one
Yes,
she gave you there,
yes.
PT.
But they're making a
Ellie
remake
Flanagan.
They're making a remake of Top Gun, so they say. Well, not a remake, Top Gun 2, I guess.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. I
yes.
think he's in it.
Yeah, I think
but
Tom
you're
Cruise is going to be a part.
still not going to bring back Anthony Edwards. I think Goose is still no longer with us.
But it might bring back a volleyball game outdoors with jeans, but no shirts.
Yeah, that did a lot.
Ooh.
Yeah, that did a lot for the Navy recruiting.
Is one of my favorite 80s actors who's not on your list is Val Kilmer making the return of the Iceman?
I hope so. I don't know.
Right. Iceman, Viper, Jester. Yeehaw! Jester's dead.
All right, number 5, Sean Connery is PT's 5th favorite 80s actor. And I don't know that you would get any of these. Sean Connery. That was a
Connery.
bad one. Real bad.
That was bad.
Yeah.
Sean
I don't know.
Connery
By the way,
in the
I don't know
80s.
any of these movies that you listed, PT.
Well, those are the 3 he made in the 80s. He made Time Bandits, which is kind of a cult classic among some of the Terry Gilliam people. He made Presidio. That was a really good one. I think that was with either Mark Harmon or Kevin Costner. It was based on a military base out in San Francisco. And then I think he was with Matthew Broderick and somebody else in Family Business. Oh, that's somebody else, by the way, Marlon Brando. And that was in 89. And it was kind of a mob spoof movie. But, yeah, Sean Connery's got to be in there.
And he was in at least one James Bond movie in the 80s. He stopped being James Bond at 83.
Never say never again. Yes, very good, Jen Scordo.
How do you know this, PT? I have Google. How do you know?
unbelievable.
I was IMDb before there was IMDb.
He
Yeah,
was.
I
All right,
agree.
number
like a walking, talking IMDb.
Number 4, Gene Hackman.
Oh boy, Gene Hackman. Brewster's Million. He wasn't in that. And I think that was in the 70s.
No,
Gene
John Candy was in that though. So
No.
was Richard
He
Pryor.
was,
There was
yeah.
one that was a basketball movie that you might know.
Gene Hackman.
Yes, a very famous basketball movie about a high school basketball team that pulls off an upset.
Oh,
Norman Dale.
Ah!
Run the picket fence. Hickory.
All right, you're out of time. It's the Hoosiers.
Yeah.
Oh my God, my dad
All right,
went there.
the last 3.
He's gonna
Number
kill me.
3 is Kevin Costner. All right.
Well, Dances with Wolves.
But that wasn't in the 80s.
That was
That
not
was
in
in
the
1990, I believe.
All
And
right,
that
I was
was,
10, and
That was Field of Dreams, Bull Durham, a couple baseball movies
Well, Bull
there.
Durham is my
The Big
favorite.
Chill as well. 3 guys from the same movie there,
How about
PT.
that?
All right, number 2.
Kevin Costner is a trivia answer for The Big Chill, by the way. He played the suicide victim in the beginning. You never saw him. You just saw his arms and his body and stuff. He never had a speaking role. And then they kind of cut his face out of the shot. So he was in the movie, but nobody knew it.
I've never seen The Big Chill.
Number 2, a big-time 80s actor is Harrison Ford.
Well, oh, goodness.
Well, these are easy. Come on, girl.
Well, yeah. Was Indiana Jones, one of those was in the 80s? Had to be, right?
Temple of Doom. Yes.
How about all 3 of them?
Yep.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, and Last Crusade were 81, 84, and 89.
You got the dates just like that. By the way, Star Wars was kind of big, too. And number 1 was De Niro in the Raging Bull, Untouchables, and, of course, Goodfellas.
Well,
hey, don't forget Midnight Run. Serrano's got the discs. Serrano's got the discs.
It's a good list,
I got the
but
Duke.
no John Cusack?
You could only pick 10.